You, what's your name? Andrew? Where from?
Ohio.
What was your first car?
Ford Escape.
What's your mother's maiden name? How are you folks? You live in the area? Do you have dogs?
I have no pets. I'm an anomaly in Seattle.
Do you have an alarm system? Are you going out of town anytime soon? I know what you're thinking. Is this the same Jay Jennings who was on an episode of A Dating Story on the Learning Channel back in 2000? Yes, it is. An episode that's had over 5,000 views on YouTube. That's over 200 a year. So I'll be signing autographs after the show, $150. So as you probably guess, I'm divorced. But we worked it out very amicably. She kept the house, and I kept this outfit. Every other week. So you all lucked out. You two should come next week. We were a cute couple, though. You know, we had little cutesy nicknames for each other. Like, I used to call her Cuddle Bear. She loved to cuddle. And she used to call me Lying Sack of Shit. Because I like to lie to her a lot. But I am keeping myself busy. I am filling my divorce guy cliche bingo card. I live in a swanky eco apartment, 190 square feet of bachelor paradise, with full kitchen, conveniently down the hall. I got myself a convertible by sawing the top off my Passat. And I hooked up with a 25-year-old I met on Tinder. Bingo! I think she was looking for a sugar daddy. On her second date, she asked if I would pay for her boob job. And while I was flattered that she thought I made enough money to be a sugar daddy, I don't know where she got the idea as we dined at Taco Bell. I'd be more like a frugal daddy. Hey, baby, you like this apartment? Your frugal daddy wants his baby living in style. Oh, and here's your roommate, Jeff. He's going to help defray some of the rent. So, works out there, Paul. Actually, when I first got divorced, I was not interested in dating at all, but I was still interested in fucking. So, but I mean, how does one fuck without dating, right? I mean, you get an escort, but you know, who has escort money, you know, right? You know what I'm talking about. So I joined one of those apps. It's a hookup app, you know, and right away met a woman and said, "You want to hook up?" And she's like, "Yeah, but I charge $150." And I know what you're thinking. Well, how is that different than an escort? You've obviously not priced escorts lately, right? But, you know, I calculated it out, cost of a date, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm in. And she's like, great. Can you PayPal me $75 right now? And I was like a reservation. Yeah, okay, sure, you know. So I PayPal her $75. And the next day comes, she texts me. She's like, hey, I'm really excited about our date, but you know what? Sometimes guys don't always pay me. And I'm like, the nerve of those guys. When Jay Jennings says he's paying you for sex, he's paying you for sex. So she's like, can you save me the other $75? So I'm like, sure, of course. So I PayPal the other $75, and I never heard from her again. Now, after a couple dozen times, I decided this app might not be on the up and up. But I get it, you know. I mean, who doesn't like, you know, want to make some money having sex? Or in her case, for not having sex. In fact, in my 20s, I actually joined an escort service. And I gotta tell you, it turned out to be a pretty good way to meet older men. But you learn something from every experience. For instance, I had never thought of how much money it would take to get me to suck a guy's dick. Apparently $17. So Hitler, yay, nay? You gotta ask these days. I don't like it. Here's why. He ruined a name. Like, okay, so I have a great-grandfather named Adolf because he immigrated from Austria. And in our family, passing down names is a thing. But my parents were not gonna name me Adolf because of that guy. And it's unfair, he ruined it, Other guys didn't do that. Like, I have a cousin named Joseph. And no one's like, hey, Stalin, put him in the gulag today? And my brother, Pol Pot Jennings. Nobody bothers him. I am now, though, dating again. There's a sign-up sheet up front. Just leave your name, number, how many dick pics you want. Okay, yeah, I send dick pics, but I get mine professionally done. We just did some Labor Day shots last weekend. My dick grilling, my dick enjoying a beer in a hammock. They're classy. You can put them on your wall. Also, I never send them unsolicited. That's part of the game, part of the art of seduction. Like let's say if I match with a woman, I gotta play it cool. I'm like, hey, I'm Jay. Want to see my penis? And she'll be coy, and write back, no, all caps and exclamation points. The dance is on. So I write back, JK. Hey, do you want to see my Labor Day vacation pictures? So I am on the apps. I've got a profile. I know you ladies love shirtless guys holding fish. So I have a picture of me shirtless holding a fillet of fish. Explains this pretty well. And then you ladies, you have your profiles, but sometimes you have group pictures and it's a bunch of women, you don't know who's who. You show up on the date, you're like, oh, you're not the redhead. It's awkward. But then sometimes you black out the other faces, which is great. But there was one profile I came across, and I'm dying to know the story. It was a woman and a dog, and she blacked out the dog's face. Was this like her ex-dog? Was she afraid to show up on the date and be like, oh, you're not the dog? I thought that's who I was texting the whole time. Probably shouldn't be dating for obvious reasons. But one of them is that I love to drink, but only to excess. I will pretty much take any drug I'm offered, if you catch my drift. And I love to gamble. Probably after the show, probably driving this will call me. If he wants to go, spot me $5,000, I'll drive. I have a lot of friends though. They say you have a gambling problem, Jay, and they're right. I do have a gambling problem. I don't win enough. No, one friend though was like, dude, you got to clean this up. You should go to church, get right with God. And I've never gone to church really, but I went, and he was right. I went to church, and halfway through the show, a plate of money was handed to me. And I was like, praise the Lord, I was out of there. And I lost a playing Pi-Gow that night, but God's good. God's good. Some guy came by and looked for the plate later. I'm like, talk to the pawn shop, man. Well, finally, I am thinking of getting another tattoo, bingo card. And but you got to think about it, because it's forever, You don't want to be 80 years old and you're explaining to someone why you have the Chinese symbol for dog shit on your leg, It's like, I thought it was freedom, but I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan, so actually I have the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon album tattooed on my shoulder blade. Though I wish I'd thought a little more carefully before I had a triangle with a rainbow coming out of it tattooed on my body. That has led to some confusion when I go to the beach. But I am usually able to pick up an extra $17, so it pays for parking. Thanks, folks. That's my time.